Hello everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel Easy Explanation. In this video tutorial, we'll be learning about the concept of file handling in C programming language. So in order to understand the basic concept of file handling, we have to understand the architecture of computer system. So let us say this is a CPU. Central processing unit perform arithmetic and logical operation, and the data for arithmetic and logical operation will be fetched from main memory. So our CPU have direct access to the main memory. So basically all our C program gets executed in the main memory, and whatever the data we supply to the program or our C program get stored in the main memory. Whatever the input data or the output data is generated is stored in the main memory. But the problem with the main memory is the main memory is volatile. So once the program terminates, whatever data we have stored in the main memory get permanently erased. So the question is how to store the data permanently in computer system. So in order to store the data permanently in the computer system, we need permanent storage. So for permanent storage, we have secondary memory available with us. And secondary memory is non-volatile in nature. So on the secondary memory, we will be creating some files and folders, and we will be storing the data in these files. So whatever data you want to store permanently will be stored in the file system. So file will be available in the secondary memory. So if you need to perform any operation on the file in secondary memory, you have to open the file, and when the file is opened, it will be transferred into the main memory first, into the main memory buffer, and will be performing the operation on the main memory buffer, and when the operation completes, it is written back again into the secondary memory, and the file is closed. Now how to perform this type of operation or file handling operation in the C programming language? So this is the topic of today's tutorial. So in C programming language, for the file operation, we will be using a structure called as a FILE. So all in caps. So FILE structure is defined in the library stdio.h. So FILE will be using the structure called as FILE, and the FILE structure is available in the stdio.h libraries. Now, since we have already understood from the theory part that in order to perform any operation on the file need to be opened first. So before performing any operation on the file needs to be opened. So there is a function defined to open the file. So we have a function called as a fopen, and the syntax of fopen function is, the first argument is location of file on secondary memory or on your computer system, and in which mode you want to open your file. So when you call this function fopen, what this function basically does is it will transfer the file from the secondary memory into the main memory buffer, and it will transfer the file from the secondary memory into the main memory buffer, and when the file is available in the main memory buffer, you can perform whatever operation you want. So suppose this is the main memory and the file is available in buffer here. Okay, so suppose this is the main memory buffer and this is the main memory. So we have copied or transferred the file from secondary memory into the main memory. So there will be some contents written there, or the file can be empty. Let us say this is the some contents. So when you open the file for the first time, there is a pointer available that will point to the first character of the given file. So there will be a pointer available that will point to the first character of the given file, and most of the time we will be using a structure variable to point to that location. So when you open the file, the address generated for the structure will be pointed by fp. So basically fp will point to the first character in the given file opened in the buffer. So we'll be using this concept in order to implement the file in C programming language. One more concept you need to understand is, let us say this is the structure of file opened in the buffer. So this is buffer, suppose, and we have some characters available here, and let us say this first character is represented by the file pointer fp. Now all file will be terminated by a macros called as EOF, as we have /0 to terminate the string. Similarly, in order to terminate the file, so C compiler uses EOF macros. So the definition of EOF macros is again available in stdio.h. So you will be using this concept in order to terminate our reading process. So all the file will be terminated by macros called as a EOF, or end of the file. So now we have understood all the basic or the theory part of the file handling in C programming language. Now let us move to the programmatical part. So once the file is opened, we can perform the following operations in file. They are the read operations, write operations, append operation, and seek operations. So let us first understand how to perform the read operations on the given file, or how to read the content of a given file. For that, I'll be creating one C source file, basic or file1.c. C program to perform read operations in file. So hash include stdio.h int main. So for the file operation, we need a file structure called as a file, and we'll be creating a pointer to the file structure, and fp will hold the address of fopen function, or the address returned by fopen function. Let us say I have a file called as a read.txt. In the read.txt, we have some text like welcome to C programming class. Let us say I am trying to read the content of this read.txt file in file1.c. So you can see the location of the file read.txt in the same location where my source file is located. So I did not need to give the whole path of the given file. So this is optional. So I'll simply write the file name read.txt. Now the next thing is, so the next argument for the fopen function will be the mode of operation. So the mode of operation will be read. So read will be a string and represented by R. So what does the read mode represent is, when you open the file in the read mode, the compiler will first look for the file in your given location. If the file is not there, then fopen function will return the null value. If the file is already there, then it will return the address of that file, and it will be placed in the fp pointer. So first we'll check if the our file has opened successfully or not. So if fp equals to null, means for the some reason if the file is not opened, means if you do not have permission to open the file, or if you have logged into the system as a guest, so it will not give you permission to read the file or open the file. In that case, fopen function will return the null values. So we'll handle that and print printf file cannot be opened and we'll exit the program. Else, now see, we are trying to read from the file called as a read.txt. So we'll start with the character reading. For that I'll create one character called as a char ch, and ch will be, I'll call the function called as a fgetc. So what fgetc function is, read a character from the string. So the fgetc function will help you to read a character from the file stream or file input stream. Now this fgetc function accept the file pointer as a argument. So fp, so by default the fgetc function will read the first character in the given string, and we have to continue reading the string from the file until we reach the end of the file. So while ch is not equals to eof, we have to printf %c and then ch, and every time we have to do this operation. Since we know that our file is terminated by end of file character or EOF character, we will be checking the ch value for EOF every time we read the next character from the given file. And in the file operation, when you read the first character, it automatically point to the next character in the next reading. So we do not need to increment the pointer in the concept of in file handling here. So after that I'll write return 0. So I have used exit method, and exit method is available in stdlib.h, so I have to include that library as include. So you can see we have successfully read the content of the file read.txt. So at last I'll be printing new line, so printf and I'll compile this code again. So welcome to the 6 programming class. So this is what we have written in the read.txt file. So in this way you can read the content of a file in C programming language. So we have successfully performed the read operations from a file. Now let us understand how to write a content into the file. So before writing the content into file, let us understand some theory of different modes of a file operation. So when you open the file in read mode, it searches the file. If the file is opened successfully, fopen load it into the memory and set up a pointer which points to the first character in it. If the file cannot be opened, fopen returns null values. So this is what we have performed here. Now when you open your file in write mode, it searches the file in your file system or in your local system. If the file exists, its content are overwritten. If the file does not exist, a new file is created, and return null if unable to open the file. So if you are trying to create a file from the C programming language or a new file in the C programming language, you have to open the file in write mode. Now there is another mode called as append mode, denoted by string a. It searches the file. If the file is opened successfully, fopen load it into the memory and set up a pointer that points to last character in it. If the file does not exist, a new file is created. So basically the mode A we will create a new file if the file does not exist, and if the file exists, it points to the last location of the given file. So if you want to append the content into already existing file, you have to open the file in append mode. So we'll write one more program to write to a file. So file.file2.c. String to a file. So hash include stdio.h, hash include new.h, int main, and for the file operation we need file star fp, fp is equals to fopen. So let us say I want to create a new file called as a to_write.txt, and in order to create the file, since the file is not available here in this folder, we have to open the file in write mode since we are performing the write operations. Sorry, I'll be using stdlib.h instead of new. Now we have to check whether the file is created successfully or not. If fp equals to null, then printf file cannot be opened for writing, and exit 1. Let us say I have a string called as char s is equals to hello world. Suppose I want to write this string into file called as a to_write.txt. For that I'll be using fputc function. Okay, so we'll be writing the string into the file character by character, and in order to write the string character by character into the file, we'll be using the function called as a fputc. For that we need one character variable char ch, and write ch equals to s of 0. So while ch is not equals to, or we can simply write, I'll be creating one index called as int I equals to 0, and while s of I is not equals to /0, we have to keep on writing the file, writing the character into the file. For that we will be using the function called as fputc. Let us see what is the syntax of fputc here. So fputc first accept the character constant and then the file pointer. So the character constant that we are trying to write there is s of I, and then the file pointer in which we are trying to write is fp. And one more thing that I have forgot to mention is, after performing all the operations on the file, you need to close the buffer. Since your file is copied in the main memory buffer, after the operation is done, you need to close the buffer, and for that you have to use fclose function. So close the main memory buffer now after the operation is done. So since I have made mistake here by not writing fclose fe, do not ever forget to close the resource once the operation is done. So at the end of the operation, always close the file, fclose fp. and finally return 0. So we'll compile this file. Let us see what is the result we get. Dot slash a dot out. Since the program has been executed, you can see we have a file called as a toWrite.txt created here. When I'll double click it, you can see hello world has been written into the file toWrite.txt. So in this way you can write the content character by character or a string character by character in the given file by using fputsc function. Now we have written the program for these two functions fgetc. So fgetc will be used to read character from the file and fputsc to write character into the file. Now we'll be understanding another method for the file operation. Now we have fgets and fputs. So fgets will be used to read a string from the file and fputs will be used to write a given string into a file. So I'll be first writing the program for fgets, then I'll be writing a program for fputs operation. So fgets to read a string from the file. So I'll be using the same file read.txt in order to demonstrate the concept of fgets. So file 3.c C program to treat fgets function. So hash include aio.h hash include int main. Then we have file pointer file star fp. Now if we write fp is equals to f open, so the file name is read.txt again, read.txt. Since we'll be performing the read operation, so the file need to be opened in read mode. And if fp double equals to null printf cannot be opened for read operations, and I write exit. If operation cannot be performed, exit the operation. Now how does the fgets function work? See, get a new line terminated string of finite length from the given string. Get a new line terminated string of finite length from the string. So if you want to read a given line of a string, then you can use the fgets function, and you can see the argument for the fgets function is first one a string pointer, then we have a int n, means how many byte of a string you want to read from the given file, and then the file pointer. So we'll be using the same concept. Let us say I have a string buffer created like char s of 100. So I'll be providing the string pointer s, then the size of byte you want to read from the file. Let us say I'll give the maximum size as 100 and the file pointer is fp here. So after this operation I will close the file, close fp. Now when this function executes, the first line will be read from the file and it will be stored into the string called as a s. So you can print out the string that you have read from the file, printf the content of file is printf s We're writing S here. And dot slash a dot out. So the content of the file is welcome to C programming class. So you can see this is what we have in the file called as a read.txt. So the content of the file is welcome to C programming class here. So in this way you can read a whole string terminated by the new line using fgets function. So now after fgets function we will be writing program to demonstrate fputs function. So file4.c file star fp is equals to f open. Now since we are performing the fputs operation, we have to open the file in write mode. So I already have a file called as 2write.txt. I'll be opening this file and you can see the content of 2write.txt now is hello world. Now let us understand what will happen if I'll open the file 2write.txt in the write mode. So 2_write.txt in write mode, and if fp double equals to null, printf cannot be opened. So now we have fputs function available. Fputs, let us understand the syntax of fputs function. So the fputs function accept a string constant and then the file pointer. Let us say the string is testing fputs in C program. So this is the, suppose this is a string that I want to write into the file to write.txt, then I have to mention a file pointer fp here, then finally close the file operation fclose, and then write return 0 statement. Now you can see the content. Now before execution the content of 2write.txt is hello world. Now what will happen if I'll execute this program now? gcc file4.c /a.out. I can see the content has now been overwritten by the string testing fputs in C programming language. So if you open the file in the write mode, then if the file is not there, then it will create the new file. If the file already exists, then the write mode operation will overwrite the content of the given file. So what we have done here, so the content is overwritten. So this is about the fgets. So we have written the program for fgetC, fputC, fgets and fputs. Now for formatted input and output for the file, we'll be using printf. So fprintf function will be used for formatted file write operation, and then we have fscanf for formatted file read operations. So first I'll be writing a program for fprintf, then I'll be writing a program for fscanf. So file 5.c C program to demo fprintf. Since we have to write to a file, I'll create another file called as w1.txt. I'll be writing this content in w1.txt file. So hash include stdio.h. Let us say I have a string char s is equals to name Alexa int age is equals to 5, float price is equals to 2000.45 or something like that. Now let us say I have to write this content, means I'm trying to write a string age which is of type integer and floating point value into the file called as a w1.txt. For that I have to open the file in write mode. So you have open so w1.txt in write mode, and if fp double equals to null. So if the file already exists, then it will reopen the file and it will overwrite the content there. So I already have a file here w1.txt, so this operation will overwrite the content of w1.txt file here. So printf open for writing and exit 1 else. So since it is about a printf function, so you can see the syntax of a printf function is: first we need a file pointer, then we have a format string, then the variable name. So first the file pointer will be fp. After fp, whatever syntax we follow for the printf statement, same syntax will be followed for the fprintf function as well here. So the first thing that I need to write is one string, then one space, one integer and one space, and one floating point value. So percentage dot 2f, and then I will write one new line. So write the variable name. So we have s comma age comma price. So this is similar to the printf function, and the new thing that we have added here is the file pointer. So f close fp. So if you want, you can write the heading also, like fprintf fp comma name slash t age slash t, and then price and slash new line. I can see here we do not have anything in w1.txt file. When I'll run this code. Let us see the result again. gcc file 5.c and ./a .out. When open the file, you can see we have first one heading, name, age, price. Under name we have Alexa, under age we have 5, and under price we have 2000.45 or 2000.45. In this way you can write the content into the file by using fprintf function. Now after fprintf function we'll have fscanf function. For that I'll be creating one new source file. So file 6.c, C program 4 scanf. So scanf function will be used for reading operation, and here fscanf function will be used to read from the file. For that I'll be creating one file called as a r1.txt. In r1.txt we'll have a string abc and an integer 10 and a floating point value 200.45. I'll be reading this content into the file, into the C program file 6.c. So has include gdio.h So I'll open the file r1.txt in read mode. fp equals to null, then printf file cannot be opened for reading, and exit 1. Else we have now, since we have to read a string, one integer and one floating point value, I'll create a variable to store the value. So char s of 100 to store a string, int num to store integer value, and float num2 to store the floating point value. Now I'll write fscanf. Now scanf function or fscanf function has syntax similar to the scanf function with extra file pointer added. So fp, so we have to read one string, one integer and one floating point value at the address of, or simply I can write s at the address of num and at the address of num2. Once the reading is done, we can print the values. So printf /n file r1.txt. We can write printf /n name equals to %s/n, and we can write s printf /n age equals to %d/n, and we can write num, and then printf salary equals to %2f/n, and we have num2. And finally, after the operation, never forget to close the buffer and then write return 0 for successful termination. File 6.c .out, and you can see from the file r1.txt we have a name abc, age 10, and salary equals to 200.45. In this way you can read the content, formatted content from the given file using the fscanf function here. So this is the data we are trying to read into C file 6.c, and this is the scanf function to read the data from r1.txt file. So I hope every one of you understood the concept. If you have any queries or any question regarding what I have discussed in today's tutorial, please mention in the comment section, and please like, share and subscribe our channel for more videos. Thank you everyone.